Sheesh. What's up, y'all? Been a couple of days since I uploaded a video. Uh, Today was a short week for me from a personal perspective. Didn't have to work until Wednesday. Ended up going to therapy that Wednesday. Came to work late, and then after that, it was just Thursday, Friday. So, yeah, only worked 3 days last week, but I've been taking that time just to rest. It was a holiday and all that stuff. Um, so for today, the topic that I wanted to talk about, something that's very important to me, but also I feel like is important for people who have been in similar situations that I have been or worse. Um, and just having the mental willpower and what's the word? I guess the having the accountability to change your bad habits. So this episode that I want to talk about is being a victim and how to basically erode that mindset from your brain in order to progress in your life. I'm turning the mic up a little bit. So with me, I've had a pretty tough life up until now, at least. A lot of drastic changes happened in my life the last couple months. So yeah, but literally from day one of my life, it was pretty rough. My mom was pregnant with me. She was 18. The way she tells the story is like I was on a train. You wasn't supposed to be born until 2 weeks later, and I think she said that my birthday. I think me and my second brother, my middle brother, we were supposed to have the same birthday. His birthday is January 16th. I think I was supposed to be born on that day instead, but my mom said her friends was on a train playing around, whatever, and one of her friends put out a gun, and it scared her so bad that her water broke. So had to get rushed to the hospital, and then after that, I was born on January 4th at 9:55 p.m. So just day one of my life is just built on trauma, you know what I'm saying? But after that, like my dad went to the military, dealt with a lot of at home trauma and I guess you could say abuse maybe. So parents split. It was just me and my mom for a while. During that time, the first few years of that, we were homeless in New York City, staying at family's house and staying at homeless shelters just so I can get to school and my mom could take care of herself to build herself back up to do, just to get us back on our feet after everything that happened in between her and my dad. So I was homeless for a few years and we moved to Roanoke where I live at. And then just, for that brief period of like 8 to 14, everything was like pretty much straight. Like just me and my mom still wasn't a lot going on in my life. Didn't get in a lot of trouble. Um, Unless it was just like petty shit with my mom as a kid and all that stuff. But then after that, after I turned 14, my little brother was born, and then my other little brother was born right after that when I was 15. So because of that, I literally like put my life on the back burner just so my mom can take care of them. Cut my all my hair off because I used to have really long braids. So everybody that know me, they know if they know me, they know that hey, Devin with the braids, that's him. You know what I'm saying? So cut all my hair off. Ended up getting a mohawk. I mean, mohawks was in during that time, so uh, gave all my wrestlers and whatever toys I had to my brother, and I was just like, since my mom got to take care of my little brother, I'm gonna just start being a teenager, I guess. So then my other little brother came. I just put myself even further back, and with that, we was also living with my brother's dad at the time too, and it was just a lot going on inside the house. And the best way for me to like get away from it was just like escapism. And one of my escapes was obviously a video game, and I play 2K a lot. And then like obviously hanging out with my friends, especially my best friend Josh. Um, you know, he would just pick up the phone, be like, Devin, what you doing? I'd be like, I ain't doing shit. He'd like, bro, I'm about to come scoop you. So like that's what it used to be. And then I end up with Josh, or I end up with Josh Kevin, or I end up with Josh and Terrence, or I end up with all three of them. So that's been my group since I was a teenager. But outside of them just dealing with all the stuff I was dealing with internally, just from my past life, and then during that time too, all the stuff I was dealing with. Like even though school was good, I was still dealing with a lot up here. Um, just thinking about the past and everything that happened, and just how it all like fucked with my brain and fucked with my life. And I was just like, bro, why am I going through so much shit this early? Like in my life. And I'm just like, I just want to be a kid, a teenager, and then, be a healthy adult once the time comes. But it just felt like it would just never end. And it was just like, it felt like one event after another, after another, after another, after another. And because of that, I carried all of that with me, even as an adult. And for me, like looking back at it, it was more like a boy who cried wolf, woe is me mindset that I was carrying throughout my life, and I didn't even know it at first because I was just like, bro, I've been through so much shit, so much fucked up shit happened up to me. I don't even know how I'm a not get over it, but the way I was getting over it was just ignoring it and just letting everything pass by instead of addressing everything head on. And it just shaped my mindset of just staying a victim. And because I was just like, yeah, this happened to me. I'ma just, hey, this is who I am. Even though it's part of my story, this is who I am. Like, can I even really change it? And that's who I was as a teenager. And I was like, I'm gonna use it to motivate me to achieve success. But that led to me achieving success in the wrong way. Especially, getting good grades in school and staying out of trouble. Like, yeah, that's good, but like I said in my last episode, I feel like I had to prove a point, and it led to me to an extent chasing external validation, and that's never a good thing to chase when you are trying to heal yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because if you keep chasing that external validation and keep chasing it, once it's gone, then what? Like, think about how your brain is going to react to that. And I didn't understand it until I had started going to therapy and, starting to be able to find myself. So I went to therapy the first time when I was 21, I think. And that's when everything started to like break open. And I had to figure out how to heal certain wounds in my life. Um, kind of addressed everything, but not too much during that first session. I was in therapy for like 2 years. I learned some really good coping mechanisms as far as like, you know, regular stuff like going outside, sitting in nature, grounding yourself, meditation, breathing techniques, um, just taking the positive aspects of your life and just keeping to continue them. And those were all good strategies I learned through my first session. But now that I'm in my third session of therapy with my current therapist, I realized that it was just deeper than healthy coping mechanisms. I had to find out how to deal with the negative aspects of my life through what's the word? Critical thinking and problem solving. Those were the two biggest things. Well, those are the two biggest things that I'm taking from my current therapy session. So I think I talked about in my last episode how there was negative aspects of my life that I knew unconsciously and to an extent consciously, but once I saw them put to my face, I was just like, damn, like the battle of me versus me is a lot bigger than I thought it was. So just, when I look at those like negative qualities in myself, and I'm just like, all right, this is me, it's a part of me. How do I get rid of it or work around it or solve it whenever this problem or feeling arises in my life? And that's just taking that information and acting on it has helped me also, you know, change my life story to an extent because like I said, I went through a lot. I sometimes I wear it on my sleeve still, and because it's a part of my life, it's a part of my story, and it's something that I am building up on to move up. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a diagonal, but you know what I'm saying? Because I want to keep going like this. I don't want to go straight up and then come straight back down. But you know what I mean? But I just use those stories and times and look back at them and think about what I could have did different and what I could control and what I couldn't control. And when I think about those things, I'm just like, all right, how can I be better for the next time this may happen or something like this similar arises in my life? Um, to just to help solve the problem and not necessarily get over it quick, but like, move forward with the solution to my problem. And because of this has helped me, you know, look at all the bad things that happened in my life and not necessarily revise them, but review them and just be like, damn, if this happens next time, this is what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Or this is what I'm not gonna do. And, I just use that mentality and thought process to be better. Because with the problems I had in the past, like I said, carry them on with me. And I realized that it would just shape my mindset and kept it in survival mode most of my life. Because that's the only thing I've known how to do is survive, especially in chaos. Because basically, my whole life unknowingly has been chaotic, but I've been trying to be still because it's just like, all right, to my old self, this is normal. But now that I'm out of, chaos in general and crazy stuff in my life, I look back at it, I'm like, bro, this happened to me. This is not normal. This also happened to me. This is not normal. But I don't want to keep dwelling on it and sitting in it because it's going to keep replaying and the patterns is going to keep reoccurring in my life. So I just think about it. I see what it is for the problem for what it is and what it's for and how it happened. Damn, I can't get my words out. And then after that, I just move forward. Like I said, I just don't want to sit in it because the longer you sit in it, the problem is going to stay there or it's going to get worse. And with that mentality, this is how I help get myself, and I'm still getting myself out of it, but get myself out of feeling or being a victim. Um, because don't nobody, well, at least I don't want to continue to keep living like this. It's unhealthy, um, yeah, emotionally and mentally, and it also shows outwardly on your physical. So I don't want to keep living like that, and I want to keep having the mentality of just woe is me, boy who cried wolf. I'm just like, hey, I had a problem. How am I gonna fix it? How am I gonna solve it? If I don't need to solve it right then and there, I'm gonna sit in it for a little bit, self soothe myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to bleed on anybody with my problems, or I don't mind explaining my problems to somebody or talking about it with somebody, but I don't want them to just be there and I'm trauma dumping on them because that's not cool. And I don't hate when people do it to me, but I just like sometimes when it is continuously happening from the same person or the same people, I'm just like, all right, bro, like, what are you gonna do to solve your problems? I can help you, but it's only so much I can do. I'm just not gonna like keep letting you sit in your own shit either. But I'm doing that on my own for myself. So just working through that. It's just like, bro, yes, all this bad stuff happened to me, but I don't want to be that person anymore of just sitting in my own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like sitting it for a little bit, coming with the solutions, because it could be multiple solutions to your one problem and you don't know it. You know what I'm saying? And then just move on from there. And you know, I've learned how to do that on my own, obviously, but also, been going to therapy and just being able to work through all my inconsistencies and negative aspects of my life because like I said, I just don't want to sit in it. And I feel like once you go through that process and you're just like, I feel a lot better. I don't feel like, to me, while I'm doing it, I don't feel like a piece of shit anymore. I don't feel sad anymore. I mean, the sadness and the pain and the anger and the crying, yes, is going to come when all these problems arise, and that's okay. Like, show your emotions, be vulnerable, but at the same time, you don't want to keep that emotion going. You know what I'm saying? Um, because like emotions are temporary. They can last long for sure, but they're temporary because one day you could be sad, the next day you could be happy. One day you could be tired, one day you could be energetic. One day you could be angry, the next day you could be content. You know what I'm saying? Like emotions aren't permanent. So the things that are permanent is the solutions to your problems and being able to move forward with them. So for me, it's just like that mentality has already changed my life in a good way because I don't want to be a victim anymore. I am not a victim anymore. And it's just, all the, like I said, the past, like, pain I went through from family relationships to just regular friendships and even romantic relationships. Like, there is stuff that I did wrong in those, you know, relationships, but there's also bad stuff that happened to me on the other side in those relationships. And I don't like, as a kid and a teenager, I would just keep carrying it, carrying it, carrying it, keep telling the story and keep carrying it, carrying it, carrying it, and not like I would only solve it my problems temporarily instead of permanently. I'll just be like, oh, this happened, whatever. This is what I'm gonna do next time. But it just be like, the emotion's back. What do I do? But now it's just like, what's the logical decision for your problems? And just having that flow in my head is just like, all right, if you got this down and you know that this is making you powerful and smarter and a better critical thinker, what else can you do that's a positive in your life, that's something you can work on to live a better life too? So not only do I take that from therapy and just the negative stories and problems that I went through, but I also take it into the positive of my life, because some solutions from your negative aspects that you came up with for your problems can also be solutions for the positive aspects and the creative thinking and other positive problems you may have in your life to solve. So just having that mindset, a positive mindset, a mindset of abundance, will take me, but also whoever's watching this video or whoever just wants to learn, it'll also take all of us to the next level in our lives, because you don't want to be stuck in the same place over and over and over for years and years, all, and then you old and you ain't figuring nothing out. You just like, damn, I sat in this shit for 30 years. Now I'm 60 years old and I'm still going through the same cycles, the same patterns, and the same shit because I didn't solve the problems in the right way, or I didn't think through the problems and figure out how to take the next step. So for me, having that mindset, I'm not trying. I'm actively working on breaking a lot of generational curses in my family. Just starting with my mom and my dad. Since they separated when I was really young, and I didn't see my dad for a while, and I ain't gonna lie, in high school, I kind of started to resent him a little bit, but also when I started to do my own personal deep diving on my mom and dad's situation, I started to like kind of give him grace. Like, it's bad shit that he did, and it's not that I'm not gonna forgive him for it, because I do, but it's just the bad shit that he did is kind of hard to rewatch in my brain. But also, even my mom, like, neither one of them are perfect, neither one of them are totally right or totally wrong, but you know, they they split for a reason. But the problems that they had within each other that I seen are also problems that I have within myself that I've never really exposed, and I'm trying not to expose to the world, because I want to work on those things so that they don't come out or they don't happen again. So just having some type of self-awareness to work on myself and be better is also important for me, but also for the public, society, whoever's watching this video. So for me, it's just like, all right, like I said, I don't want to be a victim anymore, because I'm not a victim. There's bad things I've did in my life to people or to a person that I hope they forgive me for. Even stuff and some of those things. Well, not some of those things. All the bad things I did, I want to apologize for, because at the end of the day, they're wrong. Especially if I made somebody feel fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So even the things that happened to me from the other side, I forgave all those people. From the past relationships and past friendships that I had, I've forgiven all those people. But those people can't exist in my life anymore, and it's not on them, it's on me, because I know that I need better for myself and better out of life, and I don't think those people fit in my life anymore. And it's nothing against them, because I still care about those people and I still love those people. But for me, elevating and upgrading my life, those people, I understood after a while that they can't come with me. So just having that mindset, trying to reshape, not reshape history, but reshape my future and rearrange my future. I think that the mindset that I have now is only going to make me better. Because I don't want to just be good. I want to be great. Can't be perfect. Obviously, can't be perfect, but I want to be great. And whenever I decide to have kids and I set them up with a good life, I want them to be great too. So yeah, it's just what's on my mind right now. It's just I don't want to be a victim anymore because staying in that mindset is only going to keep you in the same negative feedback loop. So for me and for y'all, learn how to solve your own problems and don't bleed on anybody because that's not cool and it's not fun when you're being bled on. Because I've been in that situation where I've been bled on, but also I've been in a situation where I'm bleeding on people too. And now that I'm realizing it and looking back at it, it's not cool. It's not fair to the person that you're talking to, even if they are open and listening to your problems. So yeah, that's just the lesson for today is even though you were a victim, figure out how to get out of it to make yourself better because you don't want to stay a victim. And that's just the story. Well, not story. That's just the video for today. The lesson for today. So yeah, it's your boy Dev signing out. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your family. Share with your family. I can't even talk right now. But yeah, I'm out. Peace.